Happy New Year, friends. Happy New Year. Welcome. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Grab a seat at the table. I know Michelle is finishing up. This is Cheryl. My hair's a mess. Mama P at Mama P's Crafty Creations. And it's my turn to start 5 journals on a journey. And I am unbelievably excited about this project. So if you've watched Michelle right before me at the Vintage Daisy, you have kind of got the gist, hey Trisha, of what we're up to here. But 5 creative friends, Michelle Hill at the Vintage Daisy, myself, the Comfy Nest with Grace, who is up after me, and then Chris Hunter and Dina with Designs by Dina are all today making journal covers in our own style, something that we love, we think is cool. And then we're gonna fancy those up and complete them, put a startup signature of pages in them. You hear the boss babies here. She's also shaking the table today. So if she keeps it up with the earthquake treatment, I'm gonna have to move her. And then we are gonna send those journals around to one another in some magical order, and we will put a signature in each other's books as they come to us. And I think it's so exciting. Hi, Diane. Happy New Year to you as well. I hope that your day has been a good one. Hey, Phyllis, it's good to see you. It's so good to see you guys. I have had a family break here over the holidays. We've had kids in and out and back and forth. And it has been a great time, but I've missed you guys and I've thought about you so much, and I'm ready to catch up. I am ready to catch up. Hi, Eileen. How are you? All right, so I have my hot glue tool heating up, the lava tool, which I should never be trusted with, which is nearly out of glue anyway and may not work. And of course, the battery is also out of commission, so we won't be using the hot glue tool. Hey, Miss Dina, how are you? Hey, Michelle, I see you. Man, is that Dr. Bag gonna be cool or what? I don't know about you guys, but the last hour that I spent, hey, Angie, watching Michelle has me thinking about every purse I've ever seen at the thrift store and pass by. And several things currently in my closet that I am already dreaming about destroying and turning into something new and fabulous. So I'm super excited. There's Miss Grace. She is up next after me. Okay, let's talk about my plan here. And if the earthquake gets to be too much, this is my granddaughter, Adeline. If you're new here, she is with me most lives. I'll pull her in to say hi. She wants to see herself on the camera. Look, you're up here. Anyway, she is 8 months old, and she runs the place. And my daughter and her husband are having a date night before my daughter goes back to school. And so she is hanging out here with me on the table. That means that at Mama P's house, it's real life here. We cook, we craft, we chat, we build a community, but mainly it's just real life here. So if she needs attention, I'll give it to her and we'll get right back to it. But I call her the boss baby, and you'll see why. You'll see why. Okay, so you've kind of gotten the gist. Hey, Sydney, it's good to see you. Hello, Cheryl, my friend in California. Millie the dog is going to bark. She watches TV. My TV is on. I usually always turn that off. If a dog comes on TV, she must attack the dog on the TV. So you'll hear that. If she's not barking, she's snoring. And you hear that. The baby's shaking the table. This is how we go. This is how we go. And if you enjoy that kind of just real life, I want you to hang out here with us at Mama P's. Because that's what we do. We have real life together and we have a good time. Oh, hey, Amanda. I'm doing really pretty good. Okay, so our journals need to be large enough to accommodate 5 signatures. I have never made a 5 signature journal ever. If I do 2, I have really stretched it. And they need to be large enough to accommodate an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded in half. We agreed for all of us to work in each other's journals. A standard size of paper would make that much easier. So that was the decision. And I got to doing some, I don't know, hunting around, digging around. Hey, Sherry, looking around on the internet like we do. Welcome, Kathy. Glad to have you here. Hey, Sherry Short. And I saw another creator, and honestly, I will tell you, I don't know the name. I could get close. I can tell you, I believe it's the same lady that Chris talks about getting her zhuzhers from. But she makes the most cool journals that fold into boxes. And I have an obsession with containers. It's an obsession that I have had forever. As a child, I loved a container. Hey, Sherry, I have never, welcome. I have never gotten over it. I love anything that holds something else. A bag, a box. If you can put something in it, I love a bowl. If it's got a lid on it, I'm over the moon excited. And so when I saw a journal that kind of folded into a box, I thought, ooh, I have got to try that. So I went to Hobby Lobby. I have a couple of them here in different stages. This is the one we're actually going to do today. But when I fold it back together, you can see that this was just in their gift box / mailing box area at Hobby Lobby. It was $2.99. And this is what it looked like. And the measurements on this one are 9.5 by 7 by 4 inches deep. So Eileen, you too. I tell you, a container or a school supply, and I am over the moon excited. I love it. I love it. So this is what I started with, okay? And then I have this fabric that I have been working with now for a while. It was a futon cover that I got at the thrift store, but I dearly love the prints of it. And so this was, I'll just show you, this was my first prototype, but I left these attached, okay? And my idea was, wow, she's bossy today, is that my signatures would go here, and then when you fold it, baby earthquake is right. The pages would go in the box, and they would kind of be, packaged nicely for their journeys, wherever they go. And then on this one that we're actually going to do today, I thought, well, that's all great and wonderful, Mama P, until you want to work on the pages and you have to kind of work in the box. So on this other one, I went ahead and cut it apart here as well to get where we are. Hang on, I'm going to move the baby's chair because she's giving me the earthquake dizzies. All right, stinker butt. Now you're coming down here later. There you go. If she thinks she can see herself, she'll be happier. So we'll see. Here's your hours. Okay, so this is what we're headed to. We're going to line our box, and then our signature holes will go here. That's our plan. Then we will create closures and all of the pretty stuff. And I have an assortment of pretty stuff pulled out here. We'll just see how far we get. Oh yeah, Virginia, it's all exciting until she rattles the table and spills the coffee all over. Because my table, this is an old table. Can y'all appreciate this is a used, worn, loved table. So it's not all that steady anyway. Happy New Year to you too, Virginia. How you doing, girl? Okay. So I pre-cut some fabric. It's not perfect. It's just cut for a start. And I took my box, all right, and all I did was I cut all 4 of these edges. That's it. That's where we are. Now, I was going to use my glue tool because this box is funny in that these things are not attached all the way. You see that? And so on my other one, I just used some hot glue and I glued them down. And today, of course, my hot glue is not here. Wait. There's double-sided sticky in there. You guys, you see this white panel here? Why? I have no idea why, but that is a double-sided sticky thing. Okay, thank you, Lord, for putting double-sided sticky in my box. So the idea of a journal in a box with my obsession with containers makes perfect sense. Hi, Joyce, good to see you. And that is my idea. So let's see how it goes, right? And let's hope that I can remember the lessons I learned on the other one. Probably not. All right. So why, anybody got any kind of hint of why these are in this box but not stuck? I bet it was a factory flub, maybe. Hey, Susan, welcome. I hope you'll come back often. Okay, so then this is the basic format. Let me move my coffee cup before things are coffee stained that aren't supposed to be coffee stained. So this is our basic format, and I think that with a little bit of practice, we could begin to adapt this same idea. Did you get it, baby girl? She got it. She's getting her own pacifier to any size. So I grabbed, just for some ideas, this was a box I got in the mail for a take it at home and send it back medical test that I never did. And I think any of your mailing boxes, especially ones that come with a flap, yeah, would be absolutely fantastic. I just can't get you any closer, kid, for this idea, right? So this one is just a little bit small for our paper size, but can you see that, how that would kind of work automatically? Oh, she dropped it. That's her Ellie. That has her pacifier on it. So I may or may not have to stop and get that. We'll see. But then inside, will you love this? It says exempt human specimen. I told you I didn't take the medical test that it came with. But this little box was inside of there. And then, you know, I was thinking, what a sweet little journal that would never get damaged, right? Because it would all be protected. And sometimes that's my hang up in carrying around and actually using some of my journals, is that I don't want to, you know, ruin them. They get too much abuse sometimes. But in this way, a little journal would tuck right in there. So then I took it apart, this, and I created a pattern and just cut one out of a piece of poster board. And it's really a pretty simple pattern then to use. And you could do the same thing. You just cut these little back edges right here, and then this flap would open. Do you like that? I don't know. I'm really liking the whole idea. And so these are just some alternatives because my box needed to be a specific size, and I'm no mathematician. I am no mathematician. I bought a box at Hobby Lobby, but you would not have to. If you were not confined by a specific size, any of these kind of boxes with a tuck flap would be fantastic. There you go, kid, have a box. All right, so these are my fabrics. You guys were already saying how much you loved them, and I do too. I love these colors. I am a grandma's fabric style kind of lady. I just am. Oh, and there goes the box. She is clearing the decks. So all we're going to need today is our box, our fabric, and some Fabri-Tac. And we're going to start getting this all put down. So my first piece of fabric has to be big enough to cover the back side, or what will be the outside of my box. And you want to place it in my plan. You know, you do you, right? We all get to this, no rules. I want this to come in. You see this has this seam right here. I want it to extend beyond it because I want this inside panel to be solid. And then I'm going to cover the inside just like this. And then it just needs to be big enough to wrap around on the edges. Hi, Terry, how are you? And then to wrap around the top edge. That's all we need, okay? So now that I have it kind of basically placed, I'm just going to start gluing it down. Don't tell me that, Terry, you'll make me nervous. Okay, so I'm using Fabri-Tac because it's permanent. I will tell you that on this other box, I ran out of Fabri-Tac mid-project, and I had to use some, I was hoping it was sitting here, and it may be, I may uncover it, but it was an Aleene's product that was temporary, like that's what it said. And I was afraid that it wouldn't hold because I can't sew this. Normally when I use fabric on top of a book cover or a chipboard cover that I create, I sew it. Hi, Stacy. And this I can't, it's too thick. My machine won't do it. So the glue has to hold. But the temporary fabric glue on this one has held okay. So I'm thankful for that, because this liner I had to put in all with what was called temporary fabric glue. But, you know, this one, it's going to have some stories to tell. So I think we'll stick with the better glue. We'll stick with what we know is permanent and wrestle it out of the baby's hands. All right. Here we go. Thank you, Terry. You too. You too. Okay, so we're just going to pick a panel. On this case, I think I'll just start right here. What's going to be the front? And I'm just going to apply a fairly generous amount of the Fabri-Tac. And I don't prefer to have to touch any adhesive. So I have a little membership card from Ollie's Army, Ollie's discount store. Do you have those by you? And I'm just going to use it to kind of spread out my Fabri-Tac. This will keep me from getting any bad bleed through with the Fabri-Tac, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're just kind of smoothing it out. And then I'm going to lay it right back down and make sure when we get this first piece down that our placement is good on the material. Because once we start really sticking it, you love Ollie's? I do too, Vicki. I do too. I love going to Ollie's. Okay, and then we're just going to stick it down. All right, and I'm going to give it a nice smooth. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold it up. And I want to make sure, I didn't iron this or anything, you know, that would be a little too fancy, but I can do a little stretch and feel to make sure that I'm happy. There's a little air bubble right here in the middle, wouldn't you know it? And so I am going to put more on here, more layers of fabric. So I think it's going to be okay. This is not the end of this is just the first layer. Hi, Cindy, how are you? Okay, and now we're just gonna work our way around our box, doing the same process. Ooh, it's been a while since I had a good full bottle of Fabri-Tac. What a luxury to actually just squirt the glue and have it come out. So, I don't know, do you guys, I will not give up a bottle of glue until I have done everything to get all the glue out of it. So to have a nice full bottle of glue that actually comes out easily is a treat, I tell you. Okay, let's see. And we're just gonna look, each time we turn it, we are going to, oh, you have a package for me? We're gonna turn it and smooth it in each area, okay? I live in the Kansas City area, and we have one on the Kansas side. I had never heard of it before we moved up here, Ollie's. And my husband always says going to stores like that is like playing the lottery. We're not gamblers, right? So that's our big gambling adventure to see if we find something in a store like that. Because you never know. You may go in and you might have the best shopping day of your life, and you might go in and come out with nothing. You know, it just depends. Okay, stretching out my fabric, smoothing down. Betty, you do? Are you helping? Thank you. Thank you, big girl, for all of your helps. Yes. Yes. So we're smoothing. It's not feeling too bad. You know me, I can't leave it. I can't leave it like this. So we're going to have some doilies and embroidery and all kinds of stuff on top of this. So if I do miss a spot, like I was saying on the other side, I'm not going to sweat it. There's going to be another layer. Yes, Big Lots is kind of the same way. You just never know. We used to have discount food stores around us. I don't know if you guys ever get those. Same kind of idea. If something got scratched or dented in shipment, it would wind up at these, we called them secondhand food stores. That's not the best term for it, I'm guessing. But that was definitely playing the lottery, because you really never knew what you were going to get there. Yeah. Oh, Adeline wants to help so bad. She's helping. She's helping today. All right, and then this one is going to get wrapped in. So I am going to do a little thinking here. I'm going to, in this case, I am just going to cut right here where these pieces come in. Okay. And I'm debating, yeah, I've read that. Like, all of a sudden I can't remember how I did the other one. All right, let's get our little card here. A store and a, yeah. And around here, Amazon bin stores are a huge deal too. Like, you know, they get pallets full of Amazon returns and you never know what you're gonna find there either. Okay, so now we wanna be able to finish our corners. We wanna try to get, the reason I have to think about it so much is I really would like to get all of my edges sealed in pretty nice. So I'm gonna fold these over first, all right? And then I'm just, let's see, this corner you can see better. I'm just gonna fold this in the slightest bit and tuck in my little corner and then fold it over and try to get a look at it before I go too far. Yeah, that's a little less. We wanna make sure that we cover as well as we can all the way through. So there we go. We just wanna come to the inside of this one, okay? And then we're gonna do just a tiny tuck and fold here to pull it right in there. All right, let's see. Let's see, the baby was born on April 6th. And so on the 6th of January, she'll be 9 months old. Jill, I am using a mailing / gift box that I got at Hobby Lobby. I showed it in the very beginning uncovered, but this is what it looks like. This was my prototype. And I just picked it up at Hobby Lobby by where they had their mailing boxes and things like that. Okay, now I need to get it tucked down here. This is all gonna get covered with my lining fabric. So we're just getting it down and tucked in. Right, and then we want to fold it and really kind of push it into that groove there so it'll lay flat. Okay, so now this panel is completely covered, right? Do you hear? Well, of course you hear. Just carrying on. Yes, Miss Adeline here gets more and more of a personality daily. And I tell you, she's funner and funner by the minute. But she's also more opinionated by the minute. We used to be able to just kind of tease her along, you know what I'm saying? And we could get all of our work done and stuff. And now she's more opinionated. Okay, now I'm going to come along here and trim right down where this piece ends on both sides. And I am going to glue it all the way around, but for right now, I'm just going to come on up here and keep tucking around. Capri, she has a lot to say all the time now. She really has found her voice. Yes, she has. And she is not afraid to use it. Not afraid to use it at all. I think so, Grace. I hope. You know, you just start with an idea or a plan, and then you hope when it's all put together, it turns out the way you wanted. I did say this box measured 9 inches by 6 inches by 4 inches deep. So any place that you could buy, I think it's actually a shipping box, to be honest, or, you know, that's where it was at Hobby Lobby. You could get any box in any dimension. We were talking about how, yeah, I know. And you've knocked all the good stuff in the floor. Here, you want that? How I had these other boxes at home. They would not quite fit the paper size we were looking for, but any box that you had for mailing or that you got in the mail that had a flap would work, no matter what size it is, if you wanted to make something similar. Okay, so now we've just wrapped around these edges, and then we need to do this curved area, and I'm going to trim this down a little bit because we don't need all that material here. So I'm just taking it off. It's up to 1 inch. Then Adeline can have that. We'll see how long she plays with that before it's in the floor. All right, and I did not glue this down on the outer flap yet, so let's get that. Sounds like a diaper. Oh my. No, that's just talking. It's all grunting and raspberries at this point. If she's not doing the sound, she's doing the sound. That's what we get. Okay, so we've glued that down. And then for these, I'm going to do a little fussy tucking. You know, I'm just going to kind of put a little glue down. I'm going to kind of fold my corner in like I was wrapping a Christmas package. There. Give it a good stick. And then when we get this all done, we're going to work every one of these little seams. Yeah, she done threw it the floor. That's kind of what we do now. She's happy with it for about 3 seconds, and then whatever she's got, it has to be thrown. It just has to. Doesn't it? Here's your owl again. Play with him. Okay, and now we're just going to kind of work around and glue this down. So I'm just going to run a nice little line of glue around, and we're just gonna take our time and pull it right in and over, just like that. Oop, caught that one. Ha. I actually have, you can't see it, it's on the other side of her seat. It has a couple of little loops on it that hold toys, and I put some big old book rings, you know, the big metal. And I have toys clipped to that. They're actually measuring spoons that she usually plays with in the kitchen. But those are actually clipped, so she can't throw them in the floor. Okay, so now this is what we have. So we have this, right? A signature is just a set of pages. That's all it means. That's it, okay? So this is, if we put our box back together, we have covered the main sections of the outside of the box, okay? And that's where we are. All right, so what we have left to do, she is almost 9 months old, Judy, and what we have left to do are these 2 flaps. Uh-oh, now the owl's on the floor. And the inside piece, right? So this is really coming together, not too bad. Okay, so now we're gonna take, now she wants mine because she threw hers on the floor. You're gonna have to wait. And I wanna get, there's an odd flap here where the box fit together. She is so much fun at this age. Every stage is fun, thank goodness. So this one, I think you'll be able to see it easier on the other one, a little easier, but I'm folding it in to the fold of the flap, and then I'm pressing it down because there's a little lip, for lack of a better word. Hi, Susan. How are you? In this one. Okay? And so I'm just pulling this up. I'll show you on this side. And I'm putting a little bit of glue here along this lip. Uh-oh, my helper's helping. And then a little bit up on the box. And I want to fold my fabric in and tuck it into that lip so it sits in there like I want it. Okay? And then it'll come up on there a little bit. Okay? So we just needed to cover, we needed to make sure it was glued into that lip. And I can use my little card here and kind of tuck it in there. But mainly it just needs you to fiddle with it a little bit. Hi, Carol. I do have the cutest helper. Yes, I do. I do. She's grinning like crazy. Okay, so there's that. Now for these ends, there is a coordinating, oh dear, there was a piece, here it is, of coordinating fabric. So this cover for a futon, I think it was 2-sided, and one side was this stripe and the other side was the floral. So I'm going with it because they coordinated it probably better than I could. Capri, I'm so glad you guys enjoy her because I always worry, you know? And one of my kids smartly said that the stripes here kind of look like the pages of a book, which I didn't really catch on to, but I appreciate the wisdom and I agree. So that's what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna just take our material this one, and we're gonna glue it, and then we're gonna wrap it, and then we're gonna fix the top up here. Oh, I saw that. We are definitely praying for them. Oh, definitely praying for them. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my glue right here over the top of this material that we put on and all over my flap here. Yeah, what you need now, kid? I can't give you scissors. Oh, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good. You don't want my gluey card. I feel really sure about that. Okay, and then since I want my stripes to show mainly, I'm gonna just take those not over the lip, but just on the flap. All right, and I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna flip it over and open it up. All right, so now we have this. I wanted to join them in the middle, so that's why I did it here. I'm trying to make it as neat as possible, but I don't know. We'll see how that works out for me. And so then we just need to trim out these corners, right? So we don't have all of that extra. So I'm just gonna come, this is gonna be my flap over, so I have a finished edge. So just a little angle and then kind of straight out on these. Let's see how that is. Oh, no, you can't have those. Shucks, she almost got it. All right, so let's get this glued down. You guys, I figured I wouldn't get anywhere near this far in half an hour. Who can imagine? I can't imagine. I thought I'd be here 3 days just getting this part done. All right, so I'm just smoothing that one down, just like that. Now I'm gonna trim this one out, try to get it in the right place, or close. Okay. Are you getting me? Are you getting me, kid? Okay, and then we're just gonna fold this one right over the other one here. Thank you, Christina. I think it's gonna be kind of cool. I think so. I hope so. I hope it survives all of its journeys. I'm thinking we may have to, you know, have book repair sessions after they get traveling a little bit. Okay, and then just smoothing that. She's after those scissors again. Let me trim that. I don't need to, but it'll bother me. The silliest things bother me. Are you guys like that? So I'm like, why does that bother you? Yeah, okay. Now, just get our little edge glued down here. And then we're just gonna take this flap and we're just gonna fold it right over here like this, okay? And that's how we're gonna finish off that side. We could have done it the opposite so the flap was underneath, but I would rather have any messiness on the inside completely instead of possibly right on my edge, okay? So just like that. There's one. Turn it around, you guys can see it. So it'll look like this. And this one is not wanting to stay stuck down. I think I should have folded it a little bit firmer. So let me, 1 second while we do a little patch right here. Little repair. There we go. If all else fails, push it really hard. Push it really hard. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody asked a question. So I have until the 15th of January to complete my cover and put my one signature in it. And then on the 15th, I will, and all of my friends in this project will also begin sending our journals on to the next recipient. We don't know who that is yet. And then whoever receives our journal next will have a couple of days to look at it and get a plan made. And then beginning on the 1st of the month, again, we will start working on the journal we received in the mail. And then by the 15th, we mail it on again until our journals have made the full journey. And then we will, oh, here, would you like this piece of fabric? Here. Here. There you go. And she threw it right off. There you go. And then after our journals have made the full roundabout, then this journal right here that I'm creating will come back to me, and it will have within it the signature that I put in it and a set of pages or a signature made by each one of our friends on the journey. Isn't that cool? What a cool idea. That one is a little bit long on this side. Let me find that and put just a little tuck so I can turn it around there a little bit easier. Okay, there we go. She is determined to have those scissors. Just determined. Okay, and is this one? No, that one was okay. All right, I just missed it on one. So same thing, we're gonna put this on, and then we're gonna put the liner in, and we should have time to look at some of the pretty things that we can use on the outside. Which, you know, I love that part, right? I've always got, I love vintage linens and all of that kind of fun stuff. So I have pulled out some laces and some linens, and we're gonna have to work some fun little closures to hold everything together. So I pulled out some stuff for that, and we can talk about the stuff that's gonna make it fun and beautiful. Okay, and then we're just gonna glue this one over like we did the other one, and we should be okay. Get the little tab there. And my icky gluey card. Yeah. Uh-huh. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. And then I just took another piece. Nope, it's this piece. Another piece of the floral fabric, and we are going to use it to line. So we're going to start it right back here at this crease and glue it down and glue it all the way up here to cover the inside. Okay? And while we're here, let's just get it all glued down. We could stop and look at some of the prettier stuff, but you know what? I can't do anything with the pretty stuff till this is glued down. Now, if you are using Fabri-Tac, it takes 24 hours to completely cure. So before you treat it as if it's been sewn in a sewing machine, it needs to sit for 24 hours. Okay. Now for our purposes and putting some other pretty things on it, we don't have to give it the 24 hours. But if I were doing anything with it that I would be abusing or using it at all, it would need 24 hours. And then it is as permanent as if you had sewed it. Okay. So we're just going to do this one in sections and get it all glued down. That was a lovely sound. Excuse that. Oh, thank you. I love this fabric. I really do. I tell you, if you're a thrift shopper, auctioner, you know, thrift store person, always keep your eyes open in the home decor fabrics, because oftentimes bed linens, curtains, all of that kind of stuff is where I find really some of my most favorite fabrics. And there's always a lot of it, right? Because this covered a whole futon. So I've got fabric for days. I have lots and lots and lots of this. Okay. We're just spreading and smoothing. What'd you lose, baby? Right there? We're just working across and working out the wrinkles. Now this is the panel where our signatures will be sewn in. So I have my, I'm not a mathematician, so this is what it took me to figure out how to make these holes. So I'll be using it as a template to show me where to punch the holes. I do wash my fabrics when I get them home, unless, you know, sometimes at my thrift stores, I find fabrics, especially in the bed linens, that are brand new, and I don't wash them, you know, but sometimes they're not. And sometimes, you know, they're not pristine. So that's how I judge. Now, I will tell you that if I buy a really old piece of fabric, that I believe is going to be very fragile, I don't wash it. I would rather use it and get it glued onto something or safely adhered to something than I would wash it and have it all fall apart. I think I would have had everything very similar to this fabric in my house. These are my colors. Okay, so down here at this flap end, I have a lot of extra material, but I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it all down and then just trim out the extra when I get up there. And that way I can fudge a little, you know, it'll work out all right. So I'm just making my line here. Adeline's going for it again. She is gonna be a bookmaker. Probably. Hang around here until she goes off to school or preschool. She'll almost have to be, right? Okay, I'm just gonna smooth that up. And then this is our last little section. And there we go. Smooth it right over all of those little wrinkled bits, and it will smooth it. Hi, Veronica, how are you, sweetie? All right, so now I just wanna check, and I wanna go where each of these seams are and just kind of tuck my material into the folds because it'll wanna buckle. I don't know if you can see that or not, but if I take a minute and I push whatever extra fabric there is in those folds, then it will finish off the way I want it, all right? Okay, and now we just have all of this hanging off here that we need to trim off, and our box in 40 minutes is fully aligned. How is that? I feel pretty good about that. And I'm just gonna follow along. I may go back and get a little more of it off later, but I want you to see that now we have our box and it's totally covered, okay? Oh, thanks, Dana. And we have the beautiful floral on the inside and the outside, and then we have the striped that coordinates on the ends. Now, two things we have to figure out is we're gonna have to attach something that comes around the front here. This is the front, and that we can attach to these side flaps to hold them up. Because when we're working on the journal, right, we want to be able to fold it all out flat and work. But then when we're done, we're going to want to fold up these flaps. So we're going to have to rig some kind of a closure. I'm kind of leaning toward a button and a string, you know, something like that. And then once we get all this fabric on, we lose, well, this one is trying to, we lose most of the magnetic closure. I don't know, Capri, maybe. And so we also are gonna do a simple thing that holds the lid down. You can hear it. It catches about once every 5 times, okay? And beyond that, we just need to make it pretty. All right, so let me show you my little tub of treasure I've got hidden over here. Oh my gosh, delicate hinges. That would be beautiful. Okay, so I just grabbed a little tote of odds and ends here. Okay, now this one is all wet, so I'm gonna set it aside and I'm gonna use my sample one while we figure this out because this is dry, okay? So we're not gluing down yet, we're just gonna look at it. Magnets would be great, but I don't know how I would get it to hold the corners. So, this. I'm in absolute heaven with this piece of lace. I love it. Whether it's right for this book or not, I'm not sure, but I love it. I love it. So there's this. Richard, please. I have this piece, which would be kind of fun somewhere, but it's a little heavy. This is just some coffee stained lace. And I do love the way you can still see the fabric through the lace. Ooh, a latch with an open hinge. That's smart. See, like I said, I don't have it today, so I have a few days to think about it. I'm gonna go back and read all of your comments and see what you guys think. So we have this coffee stained lace, or we have this lace. I have ribbon, I have little doily bits. I do love that color. And then I have just an assortment of embroidered pieces. This one is probably too blue and pink for the green, but I really do like it. I do love putting the lace over it. You guys remember this tablecloth with all of the panels? I thought, well, that has some promise. Yeah, I definitely don't want to cover it all. And we do have the inside. I have this really cool piece. So, what I was imagining, but of course I had not solved it, was that we could cover our spine with something a little more solid, right? So we could take a piece, like I love the shape of this scallop. I know, Sherry, it doesn't always pay to have too much stuff, right? It just doesn't. So we could do something like this that covers the spine of the book. I think color-wise, I mean, I have lots of beautiful pieces, but color-wise, I think that one may be our best bet in this bundle. There's this one. Isn't this cute? The little birds. This is a piece of a pillowcase. Oh, Adeline's happy. She got some. Okay. So, kind of where I was leaning, you guys give me some opinions here, is that this wrapped kind of around the spine would be good and give some extra coverage there. It's cute all the way around. The size is pretty good. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? And I'm absolutely with you guys. I love the lace idea. So we could go lace underneath. We could do it triangular. So kind of with the point here. So we still get some of the corners of the fabric completely. And then we have this come over the top. What is the rose colored? Now this is an apron that doesn't belong in there. I have a little piece of like this lace, which I just love. I have some bridal lace. I would need to coffee stain it, I think, but would that not be gorgeous? This is some, this is a coordinating fabric. This was a Pioneer Woman fabric from Walmart that I coffee stained. I made several books with it. What do you see? Tell me. I have like this really sweet, delicate. I know. Too many textiles, Michelle. I should have I blind grabbed, you know? Just grab some and try to go with it. There's this, just kind of a better color. Okay. Adeline is going for this black number here. She's feeling that one. All right. All right, so let's see. You know, I have loads of bridal laces, but it just doesn't quite go with the Waverly. Yes, I'm going to put a good base layer of fabrics on this before the signatures get sewn in. When the book comes back to me in its final stages, I can always go back over it with an extra piece of lace or something if I think it needs to be covered. So the answer is yes, we're going to do it. And then we may even add some more. I also am going to use as a focal point on this, a vintage photo. I have a nice collection of old cabinet cards. And so I think we're going to put something like that in there. And I always put a piece of vintage jewelry on my journals. So we'll be working some of that in. And we also have a lot of opportunity to decorate the inside of this box as well. Like we could put another doily, you know, piece in here or in here. So the answer to all those things is yes. I have lots more doilies with more holes and less type. I've got more lace and ribbon. This is just what I pulled out today. I have a little circle of like a Battenberg lace, but I'm leaning toward the first layer being the simplicity of this. And I do really, really like, I like it being cockeyed is what my mother would call it. And that's just the word I've got for right now. So let's get these two kind of starting. I do think that's better than this one, although now that I said it, because we could also go, I love this one, and we could take it, and this would just overlap it a little bit. So what do you guys think? Straight lace or the diagonal? And straight, this one would be the straight one, right? And so we would have this whole flap would still have our green. Or instead of this one, doing the diagonal all over lace underneath with just the corner showing. Grace thinks straight, diagonal, diagonal, straight. We're 2 and 2. I love that because that means they're both pretty, right? Hi, Kathy. Straight, straight. 3 won't work. Diagonal, straight. Yes, so pretty, Lori. I love that. Straight. Okay. So I think on this front cover, we're going to go straight. Let's see. And one of the main reasons I'm thinking that is this will wrap all the way around, and we can use it to make like a belly band tuck inside the lid. So we can move this seam here like this up to the top, and we can glue this here, and then we can glue this on top of it, and this will become a tuck inside the lid. You see what I'm saying? We are, yeah. Uh-oh, what'd you drop now, kid? Huh? Okay. So now we got to replace everything. And I'm just going to let these extend off the ends. They're like 1.5 inches flopping over. And I think I'm just going to be okay with that. I think I'm really going to be okay with that. So let's get it in line where we want it so we can put this one down where we want it. So we just want this one to go underneath there. Just enough. Just like that. So that it's in there. I like it. We still could put a little doily medallion underneath there. If I could find it. Like, I love this one. You see this one? How delicate that is? We could go yet another layer and extend that under it. I really like that. I really like that. That may be the go. Okay, so now I have a question for anybody who knows. This little solid, do you see how this is solid here? And then you see this side has the stitching. Which side is the top? I have never known. When it comes to this kind of a tatting, I always put this on the bottom because I think it's unfinished looking. But I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know if that's right. That's just how you do it. You like the stitching side, Capri? I never know. I always feel like such a silly, you know, that I don't know these things. Okay. All right, we're ready. We're ready. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today while we do this. We got a few minutes left, and then I'm going to turn you over to Miss Grace at the Comfy Nest with Grace. And I can't wait to see what she's come up with for her traveling journal cover. I really can't. Yeah, we're going to do this. And then we're going to go yet another layer like this. And then we're going to put that other one on top. Not stitching side is up. That's kind of where I always thought this looked more finished without it. But then I thought that was pretty cool. And I could never tell, is that supposed to be details in the flower? Or is that just where they held everything together? Y'all, I don't know. Okay, I know we're going to put it on here, and I'm going to put it with the stitching showing. That's right. That's what I'm doing, Adeline. And I am lining this up to the end of my flap on this outside. Is how I'm choosing where to place it. And then I'm going to press it down. And then I'm just going to put some fabric tack along the outside edges. and kind of stretch it out because it wants to kind of roll up on itself. So we're just going to put it where we want it and smush it. We're going to smush it. We are going to smush it. Okay. Yeah, we're smushing it, Adeline. And look, now it follows the line of our little flap there. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All right. Little line to tack down this front edge. And I love that. Yay. I love that. Oh my gosh. It is my sample box. Thank you. Y'all saved me. I swear to Pete. Let's come over here to the real box and try again. Oh my word. I would have been so upset if I had done all of that and glued that down. Thank you so much. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary for me, but I would have been so bummed out. Then I would have had to make a whole nother plan. All right, let's glue it on the right box. What do you say? What do you say? All right, so I'm gonna take this right over the edge and I'm just gonna pull these out and stretch them a little bit and tack them down just to get the most coverage we can out of our little piece. And we got to glue it here around the edges anyway to hold it down, so we might as well get to pick where we want to put it. We ought to get to choose, right? Yeah, I know. You're such a good girl. Here, you want this material? Try that one. I like that one. It's not your favorite? It's not her favorite, guys. That one is not her favorite. All right, and I'm just fabric tacking all this down. It will all, within 24 hours, it will all be nice and solid and permanent. Could you use a fabric hook and loop? I think I could. I think anything that I could mount on one and pull to the other will work. So whether it's buttons that we mount on the side and a little piece of trim that comes all along the front and wraps around the buttons, or some kind of a loop that goes over the buttons. Okay, and now we're gonna leave just enough of this at the one end to tuck under, and we're gonna put this all down. So let's get a line there, kind of where we want it to start, and get it placed. And then right over the top of the other one, and it will all work together. All the layers, thank goodness, will soak together and give us some coverage. Yes, it will. Okay, and then I'm going to leave this tail because we're just going to meet them up here at this edge, and then on the inside of our cover we'll have like a little belly band automatically. Okay, and then where did our other piece go, Adeline? Where did our other piece go? I got so excited I threw it. And then we're just gonna put this on here to cover, and look how lovely is that box flap gonna be. I'm gonna love that. And then we're gonna use a vintage photo and make a little vignette here on the top and get that all fastened down before we send it on its way. So I hope you guys are excited about the whole project of the Journals on a Journey, as we are about it. It is so much fun to create with your friends, but it's even more fun to create for your friends. And so the idea that I'm going to get to make a set of decorative pages for some of my best crafting buddies is just so cool to me. And I'm so excited for that opportunity. Okay. And then I'm going to put this just to the edge here today and smooth it down. And then I'm not going to glue it around the corner or where my holes are going to go until I get those holes punched. And then I will put this piece of embroidery over top of the holes. And it will just look neater if those stitches will the stitches will just come through this doily without it having the holes in it, because no matter how careful you are when you punch the holes, they do leave just a little bit of like mess there. You know, it's not going to be perfectly tidy. So for now, I'm just going to glue it to this edge. Then I'm going to use my template and I'm going to poke all 15 holes for 5 signatures. And then once those holes are in, I'm going to glue this the rest of the way around, and it will leave just this much on the back. And then this will be our side, and this will be our book top. Awesome. All right. Come here, Miss Adeline. You want to say hi to everybody before we go? All right. Adeline and I say thank you so much for spending some time with us. I hope that you will love and enjoy the 5 journals on a journey project as much as all of us creators are. I'm going to let you go for today. You go catch Miss Grace at the Comfy Nest with Grace and see what she's up to. And I will be back in the next couple of days as we continue to work on this and get it all completed and ready for the mail. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Thank you for giving me a piece of your New Year's Day. And I'm praying that you have a blessed New Year filled with all the best things, all the love, the friendship, the comfort, the joy that a year can bring. That is my prayer for you guys. And I will see you in the next couple of days. Again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I'll see you soon.